Next item on the agenda, we have the minutes and the claims from Vigo County Auditor.
We've got minutes for September 7th that need approval.
Is that the September 11th through September 17th, Jimmy?
I'm talking about minutes, the September 7th meeting, jumping ahead of me.
I always do that.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Aye? Aye. Okay, then it's approved.
Okay, we've got claims for September 4th through 10th in the amount of $380,034.98, and claim docket for September 11th through 17th for $3,136,026.93 plus payroll of $1,036,169.53 for a total of $4,172,196.46. And September 18th through 24th claim docket in the amount of $528,012.12.
You guys want to look at approving both these together or separate?
Whatever you want to do.
I'm good with all of them, so whatever's easiest. I don't see any issues with either one.
Okay. All right.
I think you're fine doing it either way you wish.
Well, then I'll make a motion to approve them,
Which ones?
both.
Yeah, we have 3 total.
Oh. That's what I thought. I'm missing one.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 4th through the September 10th claims for $380,034.98.
Second.
I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay, well, no, you never got a second, right?
Right, that's right. Okay, all by aye?
Aye.
Got one more?
You want me to do the other one?
Yeah, we'll play tennis.
All right.
You want to
I'll,
start the meeting over again?
I'll make a motion to approve
I forgot how to do this.
the minutes for September 10th through the,
The minutes.
or the claims. Well,
Claims.
you have, okay, there's no confusion here. Actually, there's a lot, but I only have 2 claims. So you're the one with 3, so you need to make the motion here.
Yeah, I got two.
I've only got 2. I'm missing the second one.
That's where I'm at.
So how's your drive in this morning?
Pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
No snow.
So we have a third claim.
I've got one in front of me from September 18th to September 24th in the amount of $528,012.21. 12 cents.
That's one I just,
Was that your motion?
Make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Aye.
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 Okay.
Make a motion to approve 9/11 through 9/17 claims.
Sold. Second.
All in favor?
You got it.
Yeah, just run with it.
Okay.
Is that all of the claims then? You just double check.
It's 2 weeks.
Next item on the agenda, we have the Baker Tilly engagement letter related to the services of the auditor.
Previously, signed an engagement letter with Baker Tilly to assist with the ARP help as needed. This just amends that to put a not to exceed amount in it. And I don't have the contract in front. I think it's like
I have it in front of me. I've reviewed it legally, and there's nothing I see of any major
and
issue.
the amount, what is it, like 24,000 or 40? I can't remember the not to exceed.
$25,000.
25. Yeah, the previous one was just at an hourly rate, and they added that limit on it. And I think that they found that that would be required by the ARP regulations.
Okay, so this was our help with our ARP.
Yeah,
And we're,
advice and whatever, whatever we may need.
And as with this,
Reporting.
what you're saying is this continues to be somewhat of a moving target. And they're gonna keep us in line, so they had to adjust their
Not,
agreement a little
they
bit.
did, the first contract just stated that they charge us at an hourly rate. This one states the hourly rate and that the fees will not exceed $25,000.
Okay,
It puts a
And you're
cap
good?
on it. I'm good with it, yeah.
okay. We're good with it. Right,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, I'd say make a motion to approve.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
All right.
Second.
All by aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda, short form agreement between owner and engineer for professional services.
Morning. Before you, the agreement for Bridge 205, which is Hasselberger Bridge. This is just design services for that. Legal has reviewed it. The changes were made. And total contract price is $165,820.
Did you hear any of that?
Now, just for the record, we had a sidebar conversation yesterday about this, about, we have a goal of public access sites along Otter Creek, and we're gonna try to incorporate pretty much at no cost, the possibility of a kayak launch, at the base of this bridge on Otter Creek. So I just like the records or the minutes to reflect that that's one of our projects, Karen, to get a kayak launch at the base of this bridge, so. Otherwise, I'll make a motion to approve the agreement.
Second.
Okay. Comment, a lot of work and is continuing to go into this project, as that's kind of a low spot that creek comes clear across the road and what have you. And so there's some engineering going into it.
Correct.
So, pretty exciting, and be a good improvement. So, all in favor by aye?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And, Mr. Robbins, before you step back,
Sure.
an off-agenda item, do you want to talk about the stop signs on Idle Creek?
Sure. So there was a request brought to my office, I brought forth to the Commissioner's office about changing some intersections within Idle Creek to all-way stops, basically. They are three-legged intersections there. Intersection of Ironwood and Golf Bag, and then Ironwood, and there's a dead-end section with a cul-de-sac on Ironwood. Further to the east there, or to the west, I'm sorry. Those two intersections right now are only controlled by one stop sign. So we would the change to be included, those be all stops, because there's been conflict points with vehicles in the subdivision itself. So that's something we wanted to agree with, that we wanted to change, and commissioners felt it was willing to change.
Yeah, the issue is the cars were going off of the Ironwood and going onto a private road and almost taking out kids.
Yep.
Just because of the signage will help. The signage will help the situation.
Correct.
So,
And I know this is Mr. Wright's project. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, there's been an ordinance prepared to pursuant to Indiana Code 921.12, which is the provision that gives you authority over the roads in your jurisdiction, provides just that those two intersections, to enhance the safety, health, and welfare of the residents of Idle Creek, will be made all-stop intersections, placing a stop sign at each road approach to the intersection.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second.
By aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next item on the agenda, fee permits and emergency disconnects by the building inspection department.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning, Terry.
What we're requesting is requiring safety disconnects on residential services. The city adopted this also, and in talking to all the various utilities, they're all in favor. It's just a safety item, so if there's an issue, instead of waiting for the utility to show up, disconnect power, the local fire providers can actually shut power off to the house before the utility gets there. It's purely a safety item.
What's the cost of the house builder or the apartment?
It's in the $100 range, between $100 and $150.
Okay.
You know, if you buy a straight 200 amp disconnect, they're probably $139. If you buy what they call a meter pack, which is a meter base with the disconnect built in, they're $135. You know, a straight meter base is in the $50 range. So, depending on what the contractor or the homeowner chooses, it's going to be about in the $100 range.
And is this what your advisory board wants?
Yeah, we talked about it. It's purely safety. You know, we've talked to local fire agencies, all the volunteers, they're all for it. Because basically what happens now, you know, if a fire company rolls up on a fire, they're usually there within 5 to 10 minutes. It could take a utility anywhere from a half hour to an hour and a half before they show up, especially in the south end, because they're all dispatched from Sullivan. So it's at least a 45-minute drive from Sullivan by the time they get dispatched before they get to the scene.
Okay. All right. Any other
Brennan
questions?
looks befuddled, so.
Well,
Well, it's actually in the 2020 code. It's actually required in the 2020 code,
the state code.
National Electrical Code.
Okay.
The state hasn't adopted.
NEC,
The NEC hasn't adopted the 2020 yet, but it's actually a code requirement in the 2020 NEC.
So your office follows those codes?
It's up to the local jurisdiction. You know, the state right now is just enforcing through 2008. They haven't adopted anything newer than 2008, but it's just a proactive move. Like I said, the city has adopted it, and they're installing the safety disconnects on services.
Well, the arson situation that you were aware of that we dealt with last week in that Huntington Estates neighborhood, all the residents knew the power had been shut off for years, and that did make a difference because when the firefighters were there, they had to make sure the power was off, but we all knew it was. They still had to treat it as if the power was on for safety purposes. But
Yeah, and by having a safety disconnect outside, they can physically see that before they.
But do we need to, I mean, are you just giving us information that you're doing this, or is this something that we need to approve?
I think it's something we need to approve so he can put it in his ordinances.
Okay.
Or we can put it in our ordinances.
So counselors, with this being a fee or an increased cost, is this something that we have a 30-day period, like we present it today and then have so many days before we vote on it, or what do you think we do here?
I would think that you would probably want the 30-day period just to present it, and I would say that for the ordinance sake, we'd want us to draft it, and so that way we have something in writing, that way we can officially approve it and vote on it, and that way it gets passed legally through the paperwork.
Okay.
So
Okay.
do I need to submit something to you guys then, or?
I would just say, let us meet with you, get exactly what it is, the language that you want, and then we can draft it and put it in there.
Okay,
Okay.
Thank you, Terry.
I've got something else.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
It didn't look like it.
No, it looked like you were done.
He was wrong.
Have been a lot this morning.
Also, we've submitted some price increases on our inspection deals. There's some areas that was never covered before, like mechanical. We've never charged for a mechanical fee on any projects, and we just kind of went through and reviewed that and kind of filled in some of the gaps that other counties were charging for that we weren't. So I've submitted a revised sheet, and I want you guys to take a look at that and see if we can adopt that. And I think it's the same way. I think it's got to be reviewed. It has to be advertised, if I'm not mistaken.
Your advisory board moved that forward?
Yes.
Okay. So kind of the same thing then, you'll get with Joel and you guys will figure that out, does that sound right?
That's fine, we can do that.
Okay.
And then also in West Terre Haute, Joseph Montgomery, we've made arrangements and we've looked at cleaning his property up. In direction with Michael, we've been trying to make contact with him so we can get permission to go on the property and clean it up. Since we've had our discussion, we can't contact him. So, next step,
Yeah, we'll talk about that in conjunction with the, request you made for the language related to the emergency shut-off. I mean, I think as we discussed, if he's not willing to consent, then there's got to be a order authorizing. So that's what we just have to pursue.
that's all, folks. I'm done, Brandon.
Excellent work, Terry. Thanks for your help with that fire. Not setting it for the post fire.
Okay. Well, let's clean that up then and present it next meeting or two and adopt one or both or whatever we can get done. Two
All right.
different issues.
Next item on the agenda, we have comments from commissioners or other elected officials.
I would, Karam Nasser, our Director of Solid Waste Management Districts here, and he has some review of the project, which was a pretty big deal in the county.
Hey guys, Karam Nasser, Executive Director of the Vigo County Solid Waste Management District. I'm going to talk to you guys about this at our next solid waste meeting, but I know there's been some people that have come before you guys to talk about recycling, so I thought I'd kind of go over that, and then about our event that we had this past Saturday. With regards to glass, we are trying every Monday, that's the first call I make when I go in, is to try to find someone that will accept glass. Everybody that I've talked to has said that they're waiting till 2022 because the market is so bad right now to accept glass. I had someone that was eager to do something before 2022, came to our facility last week, thought we had an agreement, waiting for the agreement in writing. I still haven't received anything. So, like I said, I know someone's been coming before you guys talking about why aren't we accepting glass. It is something that we are working on quite a bit to do glass. With regards to other activities we've done throughout the year, I presented this to the county council when we had our budget meeting, but some of the big goals that we've set this year that I think we should all be proud of is that we've collected over, so far as of August 1st, we've collected, over 202 tons of recyclables. Last year, we only did 102 tons. Part of that is because Indiana State University has closed their facility Monday through Friday. They only do it a few days a week now. They're no longer accepting glass or plastic. We feel that's part of the reason why we have an increase. We've been very vocal on social media. The media has been good about getting the word out on all our events, and I think once people come to our facility and see, how easy the traffic flow is, how easy it is to get in and out, they are pleasantly surprised and they continue to come back. We've had a goal, Chris and Brendan and Mike and the other board members wanted to have a goal of having more township cleanups. Last year, we only had 2. This year, we've had a total of 14. We have 2 more coming up, one this Saturday at the Burnett Fire Department for Nevins and Otter Creek Township. Then we have one on the 9th for the city of Terre Haute, behind the current police station. And then our last one for the year is October 23rd at the community building in Prairie Creek on West Middleton Drive. Last year, we did about 9 tons of waste for our township cleanups. This year so far, we've done 78 tons. Our goal, I think we can get to 100 tons. That helps people that aren't able to get to the landfill. The cost of going to the landfill, all the stuff that we do is funded through tipping fees, host fees. None of it is taxpayer funded. So I always like to remind people on that all these events that they're doing is not taxpayer funded. With regards to our Toxaway event that we just had, last year we had 270 vehicles that came to our event. This year we had 457 vehicles that came to the event. Weather was really good, which always makes a big improvement. But again, we focused on social media. The media helped with that. Some of the things that we did differently this year than last year is we also did electronics. Electronics we currently do every Wednesday. When I first started, we did it quarterly. We changed that to do that weekly. And we also added tires. We know the county health department gets a grant to help out with the West Nile virus to collect tires, but that grant normally runs out in May, so this allowed us to do a tire collection event. We collected over 160 tires at this event, 65 televisions, and then I haven't gotten a breakdown of chemicals, white goods, and electronics, but we're looking at over 120 tons of items that we collected this Saturday. So it was a good event. We're going to look at possibly doing it next year in the spring and in the fall. Part of the reason why we only do it once a year, a lot of people ask that, is it is a very costly event because we have to get people from Indianapolis that are chemists, basically, to make sure we're not on the 6 o'clock news combining 2 chemicals that should be combined together. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. Like I said, I've been before the county council. I wanted to come before you guys, and then I'll probably go before the city council to give them an update as well. Can answer any questions you guys got. That's an easy one.
It's awesome.
Yeah, you continue to do great things.
All right.
Yeah, you know, I think one of the things with all 3 of us as commissioners is, as you drive the roads of the county, there's the old television set drove down alongside. Of course, it disappears in the summertime as the weeds grow up around and what have you, but we all know those things are there and have been there. To the people of the county, that this has been benefit and a participation by people, just like you said, to bring all these televisions and electronics into a facility and getting that stream. And then I think one of the other things is the different waste streams and the management of those. As you said, you struggle with the glass. So this is a process that's gets pretty sophisticated. Certainly, like you say, with chemists, et cetera, having come in to make sure we don't have some kind of an accident at this site. And but this is working, and as you've indicated, it's going to continue to even work better.
Now, one of the things that we're noticing is, you know, as you guys know, our county is an aging population. We're getting a lot of people that, you know, their family member has passed away, that they need to clean up some of their stuff that, you know, their family members, you know, kept for a long time. So this allows them a way to dispose of it. Just like our shredding, we get a lot of people that bring sensitive documents to us. So far, since we've done that with the grant that we got from the state to purchase a shredder, we've done over 8 tons of shredded documents. So we're always looking to enhance. And again, next year we're going to do 2 Toxaway events, hopefully, but we're also going to do two cleanups in each township, one in the spring and one in the fall. We're going to look at possibly doing an evening hour 1 or 2 days a week, because we get a lot of people that talk about that. Again, we're focusing on glass, and then, maybe a south location is one thing that we're looking at next year as well.
Karen, do you want to hint at something you might be launching in November or December? Or?
Yeah, one of the things that we're doing on America Recycles Day on November 12th, we're going to launch an app that will allow people that maybe they don't know how to dispose of a certain item, that if they download this app and type in couch, it'll give you first off, you put your address in, because the city and the county will have different methods of disposing of those things, but it'll allow you the opportunity to find out when our next township cleanup is to get rid of that item, or refer you to a nonprofit that might take that item, or refer you to our e-waste day. So we think that it'll help. A lot of people just don't know how to get rid of the stuff. So this will give them an opportunity to have something on their phone or on our website that they can go to very easily.
Good work.
Thanks. See you guys soon.
Thank you, Karen. I got something. On July 20th, we heard a concern, a request from Sullivan-Vigo Rural Water District, and then recently they said in a Tribune Star article that they pretty much expect us to give them, I think, $1.8 million towards their water project. In recognition of our discussion with the Baker Tilly engagement for them to provide guidance with ARP funds. Most of us were at a conference last week where we attended a session about ARP funds, and we still really don't know exactly what we can do with those monies. One of the things that came up is that we can use the money for infrastructure within our own house being county government, not private utilities coming to us asking for money and expecting us to give it to them, because in the ARP language it states that you can use it for infrastructure improvements. So I guess for the record, what I would like for maybe our attorneys to do is draft a question to Baker Tilly to have them give us an opinion as to whether or not ARP funds can be used for the Sullivan-Vigo Rural Water District improvement. Because I would rather just put this to bed now. If it's something that we can do, then we can look at it. If we can't do it, then we close it and move on. But I think that's probably how we should handle this request moving forward, since they said that they pretty much expect us to give them the money.
And that's not an issue. We can reach out to Baker Tilly and then get you a response as soon as possible.
Thank you. And that was July 20th in the minutes. It has their information.
I have two things. Vigo County's taking over a major roadway. If Mr. Robbins wants to talk about that, October 1st it becomes ours.
Sure. So we've been in negotiations with NDOT about taking over US 40 on the west side of the county from Bennett Lane out to Ileana Drive. This is a previous engagement that was tied to the construction of 641. We since went back to NDOT, talked to them about some things out there, negotiated some new terms, and we've all come to terms with that. Everything's taken care of on our end, the state's end, and I believe Tammy received a letter this morning that says that transfer date will be 12:01 a.m. on October 1st. So as of Friday morning, 12:01, US 40 from Bennett Lane to Ileana will no longer be a state road, but it'll be a county road.
Awesome. Thank you. Any questions? Cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
And then I wanted to give everybody an update on the new jail. We had our monthly meeting yesterday. The building's completely weathered in. Paint, carpet, and tile, including cabinets, are being installed in the sheriff's office, the administration side. Permanent air handlers are installed and operating now. Paint's going on throughout the whole building. Some offices are completely done, which is incredible. All jail cells are installed in place and getting hooked up. Site curbing's complete. The first 3 inches of asphalt's down. The underground conduit's installed. And believe it or not, the building will have internet by December, so all that stuff is getting hooked up as well. Topsoil and seeding's ongoing, should be completed in a short couple weeks. The project's been impacted by 93 weather days, but still remains on time, which is March of 2022. And a lot of times, as we run for office and we question elected officials on things remaining on budget, the project is most definitely on budget. We monitor that every month.
Under budget.
Under budget, actually, yeah. Still plenty of construction contingency. So things are going well down there. So just a short update on that.
And new flagpoles, which look very nice out front.
Flagpoles and the building is lit up at night. All the exterior lights around the jail are on, so
Road's done.
road lights aren't up, but the concrete's poured.
All right.
Any other comments from commissioners or other elected officials? If not, we'll move on to comments from the public. Does anybody from the public have a comment?
Certainly.
Come forward, sir.
My name is James Kometz. I live down in Youngstown Meadows at 2000 Blue Ridge Drive in the county. Recently, a home near mine burnt down. The owners replaced it with a small modular and outfitted it as a daycare. It's now operating on Eaton Drive at, the address is 2101 East Eaton Drive as a daycare. It's not a home daycare. There's nobody living in there. You pass at any time of the day or night, and nobody's there. I went to the Area Planning Commission, and I was told that they can't investigate it because they don't work after 4 o'clock. Seemingly, I went to the right place. They told me that I should contact the building inspection department, a man named Keith Frederick. But I wasn't complaining about a building problem. I was complaining about a zoning violation. And they refused to look into it. So I started looking a little deeper into it. This new daycare is located adjacent to one that's been there for years called Country Kids Daycare. When I looked them up on Beacon, the owner of the new daycare and the other daycare is the same couple. Their names are,
Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong.
Michael
Armstrong.
Renee Armstrong.
yeah. And looking at the Country Kids Daycare, the home is up front, and there's a garage behind it that operates as a daycare. It's not in the home. That one, too, is a commercial daycare. The two are connected by a path in the back, and I don't think that they should be there because it's a commercial business in a residentially zoned place. I live on the corner of Blue Ridge, Eaton, and Jessica Drive, and the traffic has increased. There's cars there all the time. You can hear the screaming because there's so many kids in there now all day long. This is a great time of year. The windows are open, and all day long I hear screaming and stuff just simply because there's so many kids there in an area that you can have a home daycare, but not a commercial daycare. And I wonder why I could not get the Area Planning Commission to look at it. Why they go home at 4, so there's no violation of a zoning law?
I don't know, are you already aware of it?
I'm not, I mean, Jim's not the first one to complain about it. But I think we certainly need to talk to Jared and Area Plan about that.
Yeah, so Chris is our representative on the area planning board, but we can have an additional conversation with Jared. I'm confused, Jim. Is it the burned down house, is it still there?
They tore it down and they put a modular in there.
You said that.
The modular, took pictures if you'd like
Yeah,
to see.
because the beacon photo still shows that house. Kevin, are you aware of this? That's fine. But are you aware of this issue? No, Okay, because Kevin will look into it too.
This is the modular house there.
Okay.
And this is the other one I'm talking about. The Country Kids Daycare is in this building.
Uh-huh.
The home that it's attached to is here.
Yeah.
I've lived there for years and never paid any attention to it until I looked at the one over here. And there's a daycare in there, which is a commercial daycare, because that's not a home. And the home is there.
Okay. Okay,
So you got it, Chris?
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
all right,
Chris will take the lead on it, sounds like.
all right. Thanks, Jim. Sure.
Living on the south side, I drive 41 all the time, several times a day. There seems to be a group of probably 8 to 10 panhandlers stand outside of Walmart. You see them down on Johnson, Davis, anywhere from Margaret on south. It's the same people every day in, day out. They're down there just begging for money all over the place. Do we have anything that can be done about that? I mean, it's the same people.
So this comes up a lot, especially with my homeless outreach that I do. The reason why they're at the Walmart area down south, that's a private road.
I understand.
Which we get complaints about. Or we're not every day now, but almost every day. It's a private road, private property. The person that owns that road can trespass them and get them out. As far as the Davis area, you're still in the city limits. The state's code allows panhandling. The county does not have a specific code that prohibits panhandling. I was told recently that the city does, but I don't think that's true. And when I asked the person who made the claim to me to verify, because I haven't found anything, the conversation stopped. So that's my way of saying they can do it. In the city, though, they cannot do anything to impede traffic. Which the concern that I have is there at Davis, they're walking on probably a 18 to 24 inch median.
Not even that big.
Yeah, somebody's gonna fall, and they're gonna get run over there. So it is a safety concern, but that's city jurisdiction, it's not ours. As far as them holding the homeless signs, this is tricky for me. And Howard let me know how I handle this response. We did our outreach, our homeless count, July 26th, and I actually stopped to talk to one of the panhandlers at the Walmart intersection. And as I approached them, we always try to assess their needs, see what they need, try to gauge whether or not they're homeless. And I asked after calming the guy down a little bit because he thought he was in trouble, I said, look, simple question, you're holding a sign that says you're homeless, are you homeless? His response was, no, I'm just trying to pay the rent. And that illustrates what you're dealing with. Now, there are two people that I know of who work 25th Street that are in fact homeless, and two panhandlers that are homeless. So that's the tough part. I don't want to say that they're not all homeless and that they're gaming the system, but it's kind of a tacky thing to say, but the sign says don't feed the bears. If people keep giving them money, they're going to hang out there.
I agree with you 100%. In fact,
That's good. That makes me feel good. You and I agree on something.
that's a first. There's a guy down at
I think it's the second.
Yeah, it could be.
It's the second.
There's a guy down at the Walmart who carries around a black and white cat, holding the cat up for people, and they get the gullible people who, oh, he's got such a pretty little cat. And you
Yeah.
watch them as you're trying to stop at the stoplight. People give these guys a lot of money.
Right.
And I don't think they realize that they're the same people every single day. Tied to the shopping cart, yeah.
And
And it's pathetic.
a kind of a way that I deal with it, because it's frustrating for me as somebody that's doing direct outreach. It's frustrating because it takes away from the people that are legitimately. But somebody told me once, if it makes that person give that dollar feel good.
It keeps them around, though.
I know, and again, private property,
I understand.
and we don't have an ordinance, and the state says, because it's been through the state Supreme Court. Indianapolis had a big issue with it, and they can still do it. You can't be aggressive, there's regulations tight, or it's tight there, you can't be aggressive, you can't gotta treat people well. But if you just stand there and hold a sign, it's what they're allowed to do.
Well, and
It's a concern.
couldn't our county police stop whenever they're out there and walk up and talk to them? Like you said, you just talked to the guy and he got very defensive.
Yeah,
Maybe a little bit of,
So we have a tight team, about 5 people that, we do outreach. I was dealing with a case this morning on Poplar Street. We know how to approach them, and we have talked to them, because we first want to make sure that they know what services are available for them. But they're not homeless. That those people that we interact with, they're not homeless. But the sheriff's department can certainly go and say, yeah, hey, how's it going? But if they're there to enforce, there's nothing for them to enforce.
I understand.
That's the pickle. Yeah, I don't like it, man. We had the Emily's Walk on Saturday, had a great event there at West Terre Haute. Come across the river, stuck in traffic at the light by Thompson's Honda.
Yep, he's there.
And he's standing there looking at you. Man, it makes you feel guilty, Here
No,
you
it
are, you
doesn't.
just had a great day. Well, you may, but we're sitting there and there's a guy looking at you, holding that sign, giving you that look, and come on, you don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Roll down your window and say, get a job.
And that particular person, though, is homeless off and on. He has been given housing. There's agencies that have provided housing for him, then they step out. There's a guy who hangs out on 12 Points. And I worked with him in July, and I encouraged him to stop. He gets a very comfortable monthly income. And he hangs out there because, I'm probably too transparent. On Sundays, he makes a lot of money because the church has released. They come out and they give him money. He told me he could make $200 to $300 a Sunday. And it's kind of hard to walk away from that. So that's, again, when people are given the money, they're going to keep being there. And it's tough, man. I don't give them any money.
How would I determine who owns that entryway to Walmart?
So do we.
We,
I know that there's been a problem.
You wanna be part
just
of our team?
talking about paving,
We know
apparently
who owns
nobody
it.
knows.
Yeah, but they're not willing to take any action on anything.
She died. There's still some legal issues with that. But yeah, because it's been a major issue for us with that pothole that keeps opening up. People yell at us online and we're the horrible human beings because we're not filling the pothole on a private road.
Well, I was just thinking maybe a couple of letters to the editor about Walmart's access and the panhandlers might,
Well, I am pretty confident that you coming here today right now is probably going to get some of that out there. Hi, Howard. Yeah, you're bringing this to light now, but I like to joke, you know that, but we deal with this almost every day with that intersection. And the panhandlers, it's nonstop.
Jim, just to give you an idea of how often it's going on, yesterday I had a complaint of a panhandler on the new walkway in West Terre Haute, standing in the
No.
middle, asking for money. So I actually reached out to Bill Bark from the West Terre Haute Police Department. They're going to patrol that walkway on bicycle because there were a lot of people that felt uncomfortable
So is he taking a toll
taking
to
a toll.
cross the bridge?
Yeah,
okay, thank you.
yeah.
See ya, thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public? I personally have not received any comments. I don't know if Michael has.
I haven't for the meeting.
Nothing.
No other comments, we stand in recess.
So, you've got this one, Chris, then.